politicians that's talking about the march can't even pass a civil complaint review board in their own city and scared to even talk about it. Some of the same politicians won't even stand with Kenny Chamberlain. But we all want to go down and march. Politics is local, and we can't even hold our local elected officials accountable. How the hell are we going to hold a president that don't give a damn? And what are we asking for?
That's the thing. What are we asking for?
Steve Harvey come down the elevator looking like a real fool. I just came here because the president asked me. Then what'd you go for? What did you ask for? What agenda did you have? Did you go, well, I sat down with Marilyn Karanga and this person and that person and scholars from the black community and this is the list that we want. He couldn't even say that. Malcolm said that's the first thing they do is get the entertainers and the athletes and put them up in front of us, and so we could be fooled. We could play that again and again and again. And we wonder why nothing changed in the black community. Because we sitting here playing games. We don't even have an agenda. We ain't even sitting down with the man an agenda to at least hold him accountable. That what was the key about Martin with President Johnson. Before he did any marches, he sat down with the president and said, listen, we want A, B, C, D, and E. And that's when the president said, I agree with you, Martin, but you got to make me do it. He said, say no more. And he went out there and started marching and exposing America's underlying racism and hypocrisy to the rest of the world, which made Lyndon B. Johnson bend. We just go out there and march and for some feel-good moment and come back, and there's no agenda. For 2 days, I watched all the liberal shows to try to hear an agenda, a list of demands. And not one person, the only person that sounded like he had common sense was Michael Moore. Well, and they won't play him a lot because Michael Moore said we need new faces in the Democratic Party. We need new leadership in the Democratic Party. And he wanted Chris Ellison to be the chair. But they will never make Chris Ellison chair because he's black and Muslim. And they won't raise no money. So we know that's not going to happen. So here they are, because of the way the system is set up, they're going to shit on Chris Ellison. Because it's not about that he's a good person. It's not about that he can energize the base. It's about they're not going to be able to raise no money off no black Muslim as head of the Democrats. So let's stop all the hypocrisy. You know, let somebody come up with an agenda, and let's move on an agenda. Why don't you? We can't even come up with an agenda locally. Matter of fact, we can't even get the Democratic chair to address social issues locally. Where's the Democratic agenda locally? Here, nothing. Nothing out of the Democratic Party. You don't get a goddamn email from the Democratic Party. You get more emails from Democrats exposed than the Westchester County Democrats.
I haven't seen an email from Westchester County Democrats when I was a Democrat.
Not even the black Democrats. You know, you can't even get an email from them. So nobody knows what's going on unless they're raising money. Then somehow you get an email. And that's forwarded from somebody else.
Well, no, that's when I get all the emails because they want me to cover their fundraisers. I get all the emails then. Oh, come cover the fundraiser. Come to my fundraiser.
You know, but that's what we're going to get. Lisa Beth says, that's where I'm at. Focus on local politics close to home. Trump is not where we should be focusing. Local politicians should be held accountable, and we should know their positions pre-election and post-election. Where are their offices? what their phone numbers, how did they vote on issues close to home. That's right. Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Damon, don't forget, 11 days for the election. Hillary was up 20%. Comey announced the bogus email. The 17 agencies, a lot of the emails were doctored. Well, that's what they say, they were doctored. But
shout out to Denise who's listening.
Nina Turner didn't think they were doctored when she saw her name in those emails and what they tried to do to her, because what was in those emails they did to her.
Wow.
So Nina Turner didn't think that they were doctored when they said they was going to do A, B, C, and D to her, and they did it. Because she supported Bernie Sanders instead of Hillary Clinton. Go pull it up. She was not happy seeing her name in those emails when it described what they did to her before they did what they did. So she experienced it. So some of those emails were true.
What's her name? Nina what?
Nina Turner.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. She was not happy because it proved what was going on, what she thought was going on. It proved that what she thought wasn't in her imagination. It was real. And I would love to play one of our interviews, but we don't know what Facebook would do. They might cut us off. they might cut us off. But people that are listening, y'all can look it up. Come on, we all got cell phones. If you're watching us on Facebook, that means you got something you could get Google on, and Google Nina Turner and the Democratic Party, and see what she and see what happened, and see what she did to them. Ellie Blackwell, thank you, we appreciate. She said that we're doing a great job.
Okay. Thank you, Ellie.
We definitely appreciate it. So.
And a lot of people, always ask, how can they support us? They think that we're doing a good job. I put the link in all the little Facebook things. We have a donation button on a PayPal online, and click the button. And if that's what you want to support us that way, you can. You know what I'm saying? To help keep the show going and keep the Black Westchester going. I know a lot of people have been asking that, so we set that system up. So, I'm saying, those who want to. And all you small black businesses and organizations, we have a classified business classified page with a special $300 for the whole year to advertise your business, and then directory style classified. You feel we doing a good job, support us, advertise with us. That's what keeps us going. So we can keep bringing you the news. We can keep bringing you news with a black point of view. We can keep bringing you real talk for the community.
Yeah. Where we at? So I decided, we all on Facebook and whatnot, as they say. And someone sent me a link to one of the pages, and lo and behold, there was an email from alleged Deputy Police Commissioner Spiezio to the controller.
Maureen Walker.
Yeah,
Mount
Vernon, Maureen Walker.
City Controller.
It was on a couple of pages. It was on United Citizens of Mount Vernon and Democrats Exposed. Another page called Joseph Spiezio, Get Out of Mount Vernon. Very,
I haven't seen that one.
very original page.
I have yet to see that one.
Yeah.
I have to look that one up.
Joseph Spiezio.
I'm not familiar with that
A
one.
page called Joseph Spiezio, Get Out of Mount Vernon. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
And it was also Mount Vernon, WTF.
What the?
Yeah, you know, because you
I
could
haven't
tell.
seen that page either.
Yeah, you could tell who shares them. So you know, and but I originally saw. So the first one I saw was United Citizens of Mount Vernon. Now we're not going to post the email, you know, because those emails have disclaimers in them, right? But everybody can go to those pages and look for yourself. But Black Westchester, we're not getting to all that craziness, right? But in the email, when I read it, I was kind of shocked that he went into this whole thing about Black Westchester magazine and we being the mouthpiece of Councilman Wallace, and I really was taken aback, you know, because we're not the mouthpiece of Councilman Wallace, and we're not a blog, you know, but you know, for him to actually bring in, you know, Black Westchester into an email, you know, to the controller, where he was still trying to receive his health benefits, is very. I thank him, you know, that he thinks about us, you know, that much, but I also wonder, you know, where is his mindset. So, you know, the first editorial, Deputy Police Commissioner Spiezio claims that he's done, and in the email, he actually said he has done more for Mount Vernon than most. And I'm still trying to figure out, and we invited him to come on the show. We invited him to come on the show to explain what did he mean by that. You know, what did he mean by that he's done more for Mount Vernon than most, when, you know, as a deputy commissioner, we have seen unprecedented number of shootings, daylight shootings. We have seen crime and violence rise. We have seen, under his command, you know, low morale, officers trying to transfer out, you know, and just, you don't have to take my word for it. Everybody can go to the show where we had the 4 retired Mount Vernon cops, and one just left as an honorary deputy police commissioner, speaking on the issues of the police department. We also, you know, you don't have to take my word for it. You could go to our YouTube page and listen to the union president and how he explained. And 30 union presidents and the presidents of 30 officers present, and the union president, they voted no confidence in the police leadership. Whether he wants to recognize it or not, alleged Deputy Police Commissioner Spiezio, he's part of that leadership. Whether he wants to take it or not, but he has to take the responsibility. So you say, well, Damon, why do you call him alleged Deputy Police Commissioner Spiezio? And I'm going to explain to you why. The city charter, you know, something that is there, but it's like nobody wants to abide by the city charter, you know, and nobody wants to go by the city charter. But the city charter is supposed to be, according to the former city council president, Councilman Marcus Griffith, that the city charter is the laws of the city. You know, that's how they run the city. So the city charter states is if someone is sworn in, they have 15 days to further the process. Now, after you're sworn in, you have to go to the city clerk And the city clerk has to certify you in that position that you sworn in. And the city clerk has to stamp your sworn affidavit. And the city clerk gives you a certificate. You have that certificate that you are a deputy police commissioner, right? And the city charter states that if you do not do it within 15 days, that position becomes vacant. And you are no longer who you think you are and who you were sworn in to be. That's per the city charter. Now, does that law stand? Yes, it stands. Why? Because Portchester, the same thing happened in Portchester to 3 elected officials. They had just won city council. They didn't know the law, right? And they didn't get certified in as city council members. And their seats were vacated because that's what the city charter states. And I don't know what happened, how they worked that out, but it was a mess because how can you vote for somebody and then they don't do the proper paperwork and then their seats are vacated? So, but needless to say, their seats were vacated the same way that the charter. Mount Vernon City Charter reads the same way as Portchester City's charter. So you have a man that was sworn in allegedly in June, but never seen the city clerk's office, sworn in January, but never seen the city clerk's office till June. Never took the paper over there. So clearly, from January to June, 15 days passed. A lot of days passed. But in that time, he was seen on the scene shutting down OK Freddy with a police jacket on that says Deputy Police Commissioner. He's illegitimate. So he runs over, he gets the seal, and I still don't understand to this day why they even gave him the seal. That's a whole nother reason, a whole nother discussion. He's illegitimate per the city charter. Not per what my feelings is about him, but per the city charter.
I also want to say, we cannot be, we got to stop, we're going to enforce the city charter when it's in our favor. We use the city charter when when it's in our favor. But when it doesn't work in our favor, then you want to start fighting it. You want to start talking about status quo and people doing things that still wanting to do things like they used to do them before and all kinds of the city charter is the city charter, right or wrong, until it's changed, and it can be changed, but that is a process. But we all have to, our elected officials, when they take their oath, one of the things in the oath is to defend the charter. That's the oath they took. So right or wrong, the way it is written right now, they have to defend it, not use it when it's convenient and not use it, when it's not convenient. So.
Well, okay. Well, they haven't used it at all, and they haven't addressed that issue at all. And unfortunately, the police department has a deputy commissioner that is in meetings, that is seeing people's personal information, that is making police decisions. Not just that he's not even qualified, he's not even legal according to the charter. Right? It's not what I say. It's what the charter says. So, I question it. And not only that, he also is violating the city charter because he has a contract with the city in carting. And Article 4, Section 19 on restrictions of officers not to be interested in contracts. So you can't be deputy police commissioner and have a waste company and dealing in contracts with the city, because it's a conflict of interest. You know, and this was what was alleged, I'm going to say alleged, with the whole OK Freddy incident of them shutting him down, is because he didn't want to use the deputy police commissioner's carting company.
Right. OK Freddy's has a CRP, sanitation, that picks up their garbage, which is one of the competitors of Spiezio, who's Spiezio's company has actually, outbid or got the contract away from them out of Yorktown. So, they have history between them. So now in Mount Vernon, several businesses have told Black Westchester. They told Black Westchester, but, they didn't want to go forward because of retaliation, that Spiezio's company, R&S, has sent the sales rep over promising to cut their sanitation costs in half. Not asking them what they're paying, promising to cut their costs in half. And even when they say, I have a contract, they're like, oh, don't worry about the contract, just sign here. The Solid Waste Commission, and it's against the law for you to actually go after someone who already has a contract. To go after someone else's signed, that they have a contract with. And he has been doing this. And there was one Chinese food store in Gramerton who said, no, I want to stay with CRP. And all of a sudden, the
building department,
not building department, the guys, the citations, they give you the citations for things. You know how most companies have their garbage can, and it is actually
DPW?
on. No, it's actually on police officers, but they write the tickets.
The traffic enforcer.
Yeah, what's Andrea Ayers do? What does she do? The compliance, not
Yeah,
compliance.
the appliance, whatever.
One of those type of things. Came see him to let him know that he was out of compliance because his garbage cans were actually on the sidewalk, which is actually the rule, but they have never said nothing to anybody ever. You know what I'm saying? So, and they've never said nothing to him till after he said
he said no.
Would know, and then they sent these officers over to ordinance.
Ordinance officer.
Thank you,
thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch. Shout to Lorraine Lopez. Shout to Judge Adrian Armstrong, who's listening. To Larry Fair from the Future Society, who's listening. Lorraine Lopez, we just said. Caitlin just followed up, ordinance officer. Yes, thank you, Caitlin. Shout out to Caitlin. And good evening to Coco Miss You Nuna. She said good evening. So but yeah, so that in lies, and I bring this out because we actually talked to the people. That in lies therein lies the problem with your conflict of interest.
Right. So
you come by, and then with OK Freddy, when OK Freddy said no, Spiezio actually came back by himself, and he said, I'm coming here. I'm not coming here today as the police commissioner. I'm coming here as the owner of R&S. Just like when he had the riff with Andre Wallace, he was speaking as the owner of R&S. You understand what I'm saying? But threatening to have the police do something to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a conflict of interest. Because if you have a problem, if your car gets hit and pushed by an R&S truck, and you then go to the police department to complain about it, and it gets brushed under the rug because the police commissioner, who the police commissioner is, who do you go to? That's why we have. Right. That's what we call conflict of interest. We're supposed to be able to go to the police about these type of problems, and when you have that type of a person. And Bob Marone said on his show, and he also said it on our show, the problem is with anybody, the person who controls the police basically can do whatever they want because they control the police.
Well, that is, come on, that's back in Roman times. Whoever controls the army can take over the city because they control the army. That's why there was always coups. When you have a coup, what happens is usually the general or the head person of the army that will take the king out, because he controls the army. I mean, this is Machiavelli 101. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So the whole
Coco said guerrilla tactics.
Yes, basically. So what we're looking at, is someone who has taken over, and there is absolutely no accountability from Mayor Thomas. Not even when he threatens a councilman, on video, said that he would beat him so bad his mother wouldn't recognize him. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the police department of Mount Vernon. It's embarrassing for the people of Mount Vernon. It's very embarrassing. So now let's move on. So and he reaches out. So the mayor says that he is, in the beginning, that Mr. Spiezio had an honorary position, right? He couldn't, right? So that's what he starts out. But we know he couldn't have had the honorary position at that time because Anthony Mitchell had the honorary position. And there's only one line to be the honorary police commissioner. So a lot of us was confused on what was going on because Anthony Mitchell had an honorary. So then he sends an email, which gets out, right? And it gets out and about to the point that Phil Reisman wrote about it, requesting health benefits. So everybody's scratching their head and saying, well, how in the hell, right, can someone in a ceremonial position, right, honorary deputy police commissioner, ask for health benefits? So we were kind of confused. He was very confused until I looked over. I fall from the city. Letters going back. It was a trail of letters between the city clerk's office and the mayor on the issue of the swearing in and the certificate of Deputy Police Commissioner Spiezio alleged. And he wasn't sworn in as honorary, he was sworn in as Deputy Police Commissioner.
See, there you can see him.
Right, and there he is right there, shutting down OK Freddy's. So imagine the police commissioner comes to you and says, I'm not the police commissioner today, deputy police commissioner today. I'm representing whatever, what is it? R&S
Management.
And I want you to get a contract, and then you say no, and then a couple of days later he's outside with a deputy police commissioner jacket on, shutting you down.
Well, actually, it happened in reverse. He had already shut him down.
And
then he came 2 months later talking about.
That's even more gangster.
I want you to switch that to us, but I'm not the police commissioner today.
Right.
But I saw you outside because this picture was taken by Freddie.
Right.
So Freddie saw him in front of his business, and the deputy acting police commissioner is behind him.
Right. So
that's
So that's even more gangster. That's even more gangster, and that's even more in your face. Fuck you, Mount Vernon. And I'm keeping it 100 because see, the people of Mount Vernon they better wake the fuck up of what's going on. And yes, I said it. They better wake up. I'm doing my Samuel L. Jackson. Wake the fuck up of what's going on. Who the hell has the audacity to shut a store down in uniform, because they wear civilian clothes, but identify himself as a deputy police commissioner, right? Shut your business down. You got to go to court to get a judge to take the locks off because they illegally shut your business down. Then he comes back to you and say, "Oh, I want you to get my company to do your waste." You say no, and then a couple of days later they put locks on your joint again.
And Coco said, "This is the point. That is the point, to confuse the people so they can run business as usual."
Right. Right. And Mount Vernon hasn't woke up yet. They haven't woke up yet because they have never, even elected officials have never been played like the way they're being played now. Because they never really had to work. They never really had to do the laws because everything was always peachy keen.
Oh, wow. One of our, well, I'm going to show it now because one of our viewers just sent us the letter that you said they got the thing at the bottom?
Right.
They just posted it on Facebook just now.
Oh, well.
So this is the letter in question. It's posted on the People Before Politics section right under the
Someone posted it.
Yeah, someone just posted a picture of the letter.
Oh, well, just take it down.
Yeah. So that was the letter.
So the letter's authentic. I mean, and he had the nerve to send it to other people. And when we inquired about the email, they said, "Yeah, that's the email." So the letter's authentic. But I really want to get back. I mean, the letter is a bunch of arrogance. See, when you used to doing people any which way, and there's no resistance and there's no pushback, there's an arrogance, and then you think you have money, and a lot of y'all Negroes just run around to him because he got money, because he could spend money, he could give you money, and he brags. Well, let me tell you something. Mr. Spiezio. I don't care how much money you spent for hamburgers and hot dogs. It will never bring back the young 13-year-old girl that was killed. That will never happen. It will never bring back Nas's son. It will never bring back Wilford Dennis's brother. Hamburgers and hot dogs does not keep the community safe. Hamburgers and hot dogs is a smokescreen of the bullshit that you're trying to pull off on these people, especially on the South Side.
We got a question from Anthony Old School Mitchell.
Yes.
My question is, where is the county executive and or the governor? Are they aware of this?
I don't know. But that's up to the people in Mount Vernon to make them aware. People are going to have to start stepping up. People are going to have to start stepping up. Elected officials, well, the hell with the governor. Where's our assemblyman on this? Where's our senator on this?
New senator. Yeah.
We need to ask Jamal Bailey what's his position on this. What's the other senator? Jeff Klein. We need to ask Jeff Klein, what is your position on having a garbage man in your district and doing what he's doing and being deputy police commissioner? See, we need to start asking our local officials. See, you will be a hypocrite, ladies, if you marched yesterday, then come home and allow this bullshit to go on in your city. You would be a hypocrite. If everybody went down to D.C. and all those that come back that live in Mount Vernon allow the shit that goes on in this city, you are a hypocrite. Because it's easy to demand something from someone in the White House that will never see you than demand something from your local city council, your local mayor, your local legislator, your local senators, your local assemblymen that you damn near see every day.
And you might have to run into in Home Depot in the supermarket.
So if y'all went down there and allowed this to go on up here, then you're a hypocrite. Yeah, I said it.
Tell them how you really feel.
I said it. No, because we have to have honest conversations. And I say the same thing. I say the same thing with the preachers. They have hoodies on in the pulpit talking about.
You said hoodies.
Yeah, for Trayvon. But nobody wants to talk about Kenneth Chamberlain because it's close to home. It's in your backyard. What are you doing talking about something that went on in Florida and black men being killed right here in your backyard? But you're scared to talk about that. And that's the problem. And that's why nothing gets done. But yeah, it's great to walk. It's great to go down to D.C. You'll never get close to Trump.
Or too many other people.
Or anybody else. But you have a responsibility at home. Corruption and nonsense is going on in your own city.
Shout out to Kevin Bunch, who's in the check-in right now.
So, to continue the story, Then, God bless this guy, man. He gives me a lot of stuff to talk about. So then, right, we go on, we you know, I get an alert that someone actually responded. So Mr. Deputy, the alleged deputy police commissioner, he leaves a message on Black Westchester, and he says this. He says, also, wait. He said, it is clear that you report false information as a blog and never report the facts as was presented multiple times. What facts have Mr. Spiezio presented about him being alleged deputy police commissioner and not having any experience? So I don't know what facts he's talking about. He says, tell the readers what you and your partner, I got to be AJ, ever done for the citizens of Mount Vernon.
Well, let's start right here. So,
wait, let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Neither you do anything for Mount Vernon economy. We do nothing for Mount Vernon economy?
You do not employ anyone.
No. Very interesting. And do not employ anyone. Very interesting. We don't employ anybody. Or pay property taxes. We don't pay property taxes.